Good day, all beautiful people. This is Be Floss to God, and today I just want to talk about sleep versus the state akin to sleep when it comes to manifesting your every desire, right? Now, when it comes to both of these states, the sleep and the state akin to sleep, the reason why they say that these states are very important and very beneficial when it comes to manifesting your every desire is because when you're in these when you're in these two states, right, it is easier to impress the subconscious mind. Okay, because there's not much activity going on in your mind at the time. So it's easier to impress the subconscious mind with that which you desire to manifest. Right? Now, when it comes to sleep, what you do is before you go to sleep at night, you will set the intention, whether through affirmations or visualizations, for that which you desire to manifest. You will set the intention and you will do this repeatedly over and over and over again until you fall asleep. So you will take it straight into sleep with you, right? Whereas the state akin to sleep, right? You could do this like anytime during the day. You will get yourself into a relaxed state, a peaceful state, right? And you can do this by simply meditating before you set the intention, or some people like to use the breathing technique where they will breathe in and breathe out, for a couple minutes, or some people like to count backwards, let's say from 100, right? For those of you who know Joseph Ali and follow him on his YouTube channel, he talks about this where he would count back from 100, right, just to get himself into that relaxed state before he sets the intention, right? But each to his own. For me personally, at night before I fall asleep, right, I would use affirmations instead of imaginal acts because to me that it's easier for me, right? It's easier for me to use words rather than images, rather than to hold the images in my mind before I drift off to sleep. It's easier for me to use words, right? Whereas during the day, I would put myself into the state akin to sleep before I set the intentions using the imaginal acts because I prefer to use my imaginal acts during the day. I would use the affirmations too, but I prefer to use the imaginal acts during the day, right? That's for me, right? But as I said, each to his own, right? Um, and I would encourage everybody at night before they pass out, before they go to sleep, set positive intentions, whether through imaginal acts or affirmations, right? It's up to you, but always set positive intentions before you drift off to sleep because it's very powerful and very important. The reason why is because this determines how you feel the next day when you wake up. So if you go to sleep miserable and angry and frustrated, it's most likely you will wake up the next day feeling miserable, frustrated, and angry, right? So if it is something upsets you for some reason at night before you go to sleep, always make sure you correct it, right? Set positive intentions always before you drift off to sleep because that will determine how you will feel the next day, right? And it's very important. You could do this night after night, all right? But as I said before, for me personally, I would do affirmations like, um, isn't it wonderful technique? Or I would just simply say, thank you, Father. I thank you, Father. I put myself into that state as I drift off into sleep rather than the imaginal acts because I find it a bit challenging holding the images in my mind, before you drift off to sleep at night. I mean, I did it before, but it's much easier for me to hold those images in my mind during the day when I'm feeling more, more energetic in a way, right? But as I said, during the day, before I set the intention, I would meditate a bit, I would close my eyes and get into that meditative state by meditating, just sitting in silence, and then it would bring to my mind's eye the images that I want, right? Because you want the mind to be as clear as possible, right? Now, for example, let's say during the day somebody says something to upset you, right? And you decide to bring these images to you. You decide then right after that to close your eyes and then bring these images to your mind's eye. What you're doing there, I mean, before getting yourself into the meditative state, into the state akin to sleep, what you're doing there is you're actually combining both of those emotions. Like, you're feeling frustrated and upset, but yet still you're bringing what you desire into your mind's eye, and you're merging both of them at that same time. So you're merging like the negative with the positive, right? And that too will manifest, right? And every time you set an intention, you want to set it from a space of love and peace. Okay? So that is why it is best to get yourself into that state akin to sleep, right? Before you set your intentions. Okay? So I just wanted to share that with you today, right? Sleep versus the state akin to sleep, all right? So before you pass out at night, set positive intentions, whether through affirmations or imaginal acts. It's up to you, right? Each to his own. During the day, put yourself into the state akin to sleep, whether through meditation, the breathing technique, or counting backwards from 100, right? Just to get yourself into that relaxed state before you set your intentions, right? Now, for me, sometimes I don't even meditate or count backwards or even breathe. I just go straight and do it, because for me, I do it so much, right, that I'm like, majority of the times I'm always in the state akin to sleep. I'm always in that peaceful state, because I meditate a lot, and I'm always, every single day, I'm always working at it and putting myself into the state of the wish fulfilled, right? So it becomes natural. But for those of you, who might be overthinkers and people who tend to think a lot, right, and have that issue, that would be very beneficial to get yourself into that state akin to sleep before you set your intentions. Okay? So I hope this was helpful. And with all that being said, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Feel free to click the notification bell for more videos to come as well, alright? So that is my views on the sleep versus the state akin to sleep, and which I prefer, and I do, right? And I just hope you take this and practice it as well, if you haven't started already. Alright? So again, with that being said, I am Be Floss to God, and I'm sending you my love, peace, joy, prosperity, and blessings. And I'm out. Peace.